I was holding off on opening this one because I wanted to watch the film first. But from what I've read, the Wing Commander film is pretty terrible, and I don't know when I'll get around to it. I really wanted to open this figure for this channel and show you all this Wing Commander Marshall figure. This is from a company called X Toys. X Toys, the only other things they've really done have been Saturday Night Live and Wild Wild West. As far as I could tell, those are the only three toy lines that they created. You've seen me open the Wild Wild West, the one with the big 8-ball. That's supposed to make a noise, but didn't because it's 20 years old at this point. And Saturday Night Live was actually a pretty good toy line. I had the Nat X, the Chris Rock figure. They did, I think, did they do Goat Boy? Yeah, they did Goat Boy, Mary Catherine Gallagher, the Samurai Baker. So I guess X Toys, late 90s, 99, 2000, was able to get a couple media properties, but didn't really go anywhere after that. So some of it I would assume is because of the quality of their work. I mean, no offense, I've never started a toy company, so I'm not here to knock them, but this likeness here is supposed to be Matthew Lillard. If that name doesn't ring a bell, in my opinion, as sort of a, I don't know, 80s kid, 90s kid, he was in the movie Hackers. That's kind of when I was first introduced to him, and also in SLC Punk. Now, I think most people would know him as Shaggy in the Scooby-Doo films. So think about Shaggy in the Scooby-Doo films from the early 2000s, and then look at this guy, and I don't think he would ever match those two up. Even, I mean, granted, it doesn't really look like him too much there. He's wearing a helmet and a visor, or kind of a scope, I guess you'd call it. But that looks, I would say, 0% like him. So this film is based on Wing Commander, the PC game. I guess it later was Super Nintendo and some other platforms. Generally not a good look when something is based off of a video game, a movie at least. But I guess they were trying to turn it into like a media franchise, and it didn't really work out. There's some ships. I don't know if they actually made the ships. You can see several characters there. Marine Blair, that's me. His name is actually Chris Blair, which is my grandpa's name. And he was played by Freddie Prinze Jr., who was also in the Scooby-Doo films, and also in films like I Know What You Did Last Summer, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, She's All That. Kind of a big name in like the late 90s to early 2000s. So this came out in 1999, again by X Toys, and we are just going to crack this open because there's not really a whole lot to say about it or the movie because I haven't seen it, and I like watching crappy movies. When I was in high school, my grandma used to get me, like through AAA, you could get these like movie tickets that were like cheaper, so you get like a pack, and I don't know, say like back then a movie might be like, I don't know, $7. So you get 10 of them, but instead of $70, it might be, I don't know, $50 or whatever. And, she gave them to me for like a gift, like Christmas, birthday, whatever. And so, I would use them to see some legit films, but I'd also go see some crappy films as well, just because, I like to go and do that. Anyhow, but now that I'm getting older, I find that I really don't have time for crappy films because there's lots of good films that I have not seen yet. So recently I watched 42 with Chadwick Boseman because he died last week, and the film about Jackie Robinson. So if you haven't seen that, I would recommend checking that out. And what else have I watched lately? Not really. I haven't really been watching too many movies lately. But anyway, my point being, I don't think Wing Commander will ever get on my list of movies I want to watch. I have a huge list of movies. I keep a note of all the movies I want to watch, and I probably won't be adding that because there's a lot more that I need to see. Okay, so that is Matthew Lillard, which looks nothing like him. The guns are actually kind of cool. I will admit that. They look a little bit like Lillard. His finger is molded so that it can kind of go there in the trigger. Both of them actually are, even though it doesn't fit completely like that. But yeah, that looks absolutely nothing like him. We got this trading card. Just talks a little bit about him, his strengths. He's extremely gifted, fearless pilot, tremendous talent for finding unconventional solutions. His weaknesses: he takes unnecessary risks, tends to trivialize personal danger, and doesn't always know when to shut up. And then talks a little bit there about him. So you got the trading card. And the packaging, one thing, it's kind of, I don't know how well you can see it here in the video. That isn't too bad. The logo here isn't horrible. But this picture here, and I'm not sure how well it's showing up on the screen, but it's like super pixelated. It's just very low res. So I don't know. There's not really much quality control. It just looks really, really bad. And I don't know. You know, if the movie property didn't do well, you know, if the figures look cool, I can see people buying them, but that looks like a, you know, a Chat May figure, you know, a cheap kind of like dollar store Chat May figure. So it's very nondescript. And I guess there's some aliens. I mean, those are kind of okay looking, I guess, but the humans are just very generic. So, you know, even if the movie was horrible, if the figures look cool, I can see people buying them, but that's just not what's happening in this situation. So, you know, maybe I could get the Freddie Prinze Jr. figure and make some custom Scooby-Doo figures, but they just look nothing like them. And I don't know. So X Toys, RIP. The Wild Wild West figures are nice. The Saturday Night Live figures are nice. Wing Commander was a big flop. So I'm glad to offer another weird figure here. Maybe you learned something a little bit new about this toy line or this film. And I hope that you open your toys and play with them.